Hiya, how you doing? It's Jan here, Jan Moss. Okay, so where were we? I've been reviewing Think and Grow Rich. Oh, Think and Grow Rich. Hopefully you can see that, by Napoleon Hill. And I've done various topics on only chapter 1 so far, and there's been a massive amount of information that's come out of that. It's all very appropriate to my life at the moment. And I'm sure it'll be all very appropriate to many of your lives as well if you're into your personal development and open to suggestion as far as opening the mind is concerned. I just read in chapter 1 the most amazing paragraph which really leaped out at me, and I thought it might be useful for you as well if you're not having such a great time at the moment. And what he says is, remember too that all who succeed in life got off to a bad start, or get off to a bad start should I say, and pass through many heartbreaking struggles before they arrive. The turning point in the lives of those who succeed usually comes at the moment of some crisis through which they are introduced to their other selves. And he goes on to talk about all sorts of people, some of them which you won't have heard of, but you'll have heard of Edison, Charles Dickens, Helen Keller, Robert Burns, Booker T. Washington, all of whom had a crisis of some sort or had a horrendously hard life before they came to that part of their lives where that crisis made them change and realise the other side of them. Now mine isn't quite so dramatic as that, of course, on my recent incident, but the fact that I was given potentially 8 weeks notice on Wednesday and Friday accepted a new position as a nail technician. I wouldn't have, if it hadn't been for the sort of crises in the job, I wouldn't have dreamt of going for that. It would have been too out there, too risky, but this could be the discovery of my new self. And it was my first day today, and I didn't have any clients today. I was just getting all set up and finding out what I needed to get, and went off shopping to get some more gear. So but I've got my first 2 clients tomorrow and already booked in, and 2 on Thursday, so we're off to a good start. Hopefully we'll pick up a lot more than just the 2, but that's not bad for a second day, I guess. Now what else does it say in this Think and Grow Rich, and what else can we learn from it? He was talking about his son, and we're still talking about desire and how desire can overcome and make things miraculously happen in your life if it is strong enough. His son was born with no ears at all, and the doctor said he was going to be deaf and dumb for life, most likely. And talk about no plan B, Napoleon Hill wouldn't let his son be taught sign language. He wanted to have his son be taught at school the same as everyone else. And he realised that he could hear a little bit if the teacher shouted at him close to his face. And there was a lot of arguments about how we should have him do sign language and how we should go to a special school. But he was determined. His massive desire was that his son would speak and listen normally like a normal child. And I use the term normal loosely there, like a child with ears, should I say. So it would seem completely impossible, especially in those days. But he gradually started to he understood, and he managed to say a few words. He'd had a hearing aid sent to him, but it didn't work at all. They said there was no hole in his bones to get through to his brain underneath the skin on his side of his face. It just wasn't possible. But then, out of the blue, he was sent a new hearing aid. He put it on, and he could hear almost as normally as you and I. That is, normally as a person with ears. So it was possible. And the other thing that Napoleon had also put into his son's brain, implanted, was that his disability would turn round and bring him great, not fortune, but would be a great boon to him in his later life. And what he decided, his son, was that once he was able to hear properly, was that he would wanted to help all the other people that might not have the ability of the hearing aid, and to change hundreds of thousands of lives, which he did. And that wouldn't have happened if he hadn't had that thought implanted in his brain.